You in the building?
Yeah, I just moved in Monday. Everybody's been real nice.
Well, that's because you have big jugs.
What? Was it something I said? Oh well.
Good morning, Vietnam!
What is up, Gorilla Nation, and welcome your butts back to a brand new edition and a brand new episode of the Division 2 builds. But before we hop into the video, if you would be so kind to smash that like button, also ground and pound that subscription button, and then reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications, so that way you know each and every time a stream goes live or a video that is uploaded. Now I'm going to send you over some gameplay, just a few quick clips or whatnot, just more or less not to showcase my mediocre, non-existent PvP skills, but more or less just the damage that it inflicts according to this build. So we'll see you guys and gals back here in just a moment. Yep.
That's right. I'm gonna do squats all over your face!
Oops, I farted. Gotta do some more. Try to hold it in. Can't hold it no more. Oops, I farted. Smells like something dead. I'm so embarrassed, but I couldn't hold it in. Oops, I farted. Caught you by surprise. I know that you smell it. I see the tears in your eyes. Oops, I farted. I tried to hold it in, but that's what happens when you want Mexican. So I farted.
You want it? Well, we can't go back that way, so.
Shazam!
Where this dude at? Oh.
He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
Not today.
Oh, shit.
No, you get to melt it, Fräulein.
Not so fast, smarty pants! Dr. Evil, you might not want to destroy the world, but I do!
Ja. Ja. Wat dit toch, Fräulein? Hello, Fräulein.
Can you deal with that?
Alright, as you can see, it definitely hits hard. It just depends on your personal playstyle, and with this particular build, you have to get up close and personal like. You can't, more or less go from range. Your best bet is to bob and weave, get inside their perimeter, up close and personal like, and then spray, pray, melt away. So, put them on ice out the competition, and here is the build itself. Starting out first, we have the Vector SBR 9mm, almost maxed out with Sadist, deal 20% weapon damage to bleeding enemies. They are the mods as followed: crit damage, reload speed, rounds, critical hit chance, and then critical hit damage. Secondary is more or less fielder's choice. I've been farming profusely in the countdown for better SMGs, and I have yet to come across any. This one has Optimist on it. Also, I have MP7 with Optimist. Then MP7 with Strained, and then a SIG MPX with Up Close and Personal. So it just depends on your personal preference. Secondary or third dairy, fourth dairy, whatever dairy it is, the sidearm is the boomstick backup shotgun. The specialization is the technician, just for the +1 skill tier. Hopping to the chest piece, we have weapon damage, crit chance, critical hit damage, and then also critical hit damage with bleeding edge. Shooting enemies within 15 meters applies bleed on the target. Repair 3 to 48% of your armor per second for every enemy that is bleeding within 10 meters. And then there are the number ranges from 1 enemy to 5. It goes from 3% to 48%. Now on to the backpack. It's a Grupo Sombra. Still trying to max it out, as you can see. Just finding those materials for the optimization recalibration rolls is very tiresome, but I'm using Wicked. Applying a stats effect increases total weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds. And then those are the mods as follow: crit chance, crit damage, and then the crit damage mod. Now on to the Chill Out Mask. It is 159, 976 armor, max critical hit damage, and then 2 mods, 11.8% critical hit damage, and then 11.5. On to the gloves. This is another fielder's choice. Instead of, one piece Walker here, you can use the Petrov gloves if you want to go for that additional 8% damage to armor. It just depends on personal preference. And since I necessarily do not need the crit chance on here, then it is just something that you could possibly use as a filler piece to stick that in there using the Petrov Contractor's gloves for that additional armor damage. It's just, I just try to make builds around those two outlying pieces as far as the Fox's Prayer and the Petrov knee pads. Petrov gloves and the Fox's Prayer knee pads, just because, those are best in slot. And really, it's become like a staple, and I just tried to work around that and not have to rely on those two particular pieces in order to create a build that is functional. Moving on, we have 2-piece Suck Me Off, weapon damage, crit chance, critical hit damage. And the knee pads, we have another Suck Me Off piece, max armor, critical hit damage, and then critical hit chance. So it just depends on what you're going for. We are using the deflector drone and of course the hive by way of bleed, the stinger hive, just to help proc sadist, especially to multiple targets. That way that bleeding edge percentage of repair armor being applied back to me definitely comes in handy. But you can mix and match different pieces depending on your playstyle. I've seen some that would actually, drop one pieces of the Suck Me Off and of course these Wyvernware gloves, and they would go with the likes of the Petrov gloves and then the Fox's Prayer knee pads in these two particular slots. It just depends on what roles and what mods you particularly have. I'm trying out different variations of builds, as you can see, and this is utilizing the Chill Out Mask. And so without further ado, and last but not least, let's go into the character sheet. 60 crit chance, 199.6 critical hit damage, 59.2 headshot damage. And there are the rest of the stats as followed. So we're getting all weapon damage bonus of 60%. And there's 40 there from the submachine gun. And then of course Bleeding Edge, Hilligard Grupo, Walker Harris, and 2 Suck Me Off pieces. Total of 1.348 million armor, 50% pulse resistance, which doesn't really matter, but Heartbreaker got a nerf today, so there's that. But try it out as you see fit, as far as how you prefer and how you want certain things and what works best for you. And also have a tankier version that'll be coming out of this later on in a couple days. And then also I'll be streaming The Quarry that drops tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. If you want to check out the game The Quarry, it's a new horror survival game. 8-player co-op. Definitely come out, hang out, show some love. Just come chill with us and have some fun. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you fudging later. One's down.
Busting the mag pit, there's one pushing behind. Fuck, man.